Have you ever wondered what it might be like to wander around a video game as an NPC? What about if this NPC wasn't even human? I'm Mc Guinness, and welcome to Multiplay 3-Minute Theory. Grand Theft Auto V, published by Rockstar Games in 2013, is an action-adventure game set in the fictional state of San Andreas, based roughly on Los Angeles on the west coast of America.
Not how we work.
Well, you'll forgive me, but that's how we're gonna work this time, all right?
Your play is divided between three characters: Michael DeSanta, Franklin Clinton, and Trevor Phillips, as you navigate the landscape and complete heists along the way. But what if, instead of concentrating on these three characters, your attention is instead brought to one of the deer that roam the forests in the game? What if this deer, after having someone come along and mess around with its coat a bit, could roam anywhere in the game, with NPCs interacting with it as they would with you? What if, finally, you had no control over it, and instead were relegated to the view from a camera fixed in the third-person perspective, destined only to watch this deer as it roams the city interacting with its residents? Artist Brent Watanabe created just that in 2016, presenting a live stream of San Andreas Deer Cam on Twitch, a summarized video still available now. Coded to play itself, in Watanabe's words, this deer was programmed to, quote, control itself and make its own decisions, with no one actually playing the video game, end quote. The only interactions you could have with the deer were as a viewer. Unable to control its actions as it wandered a landscape players typically had dominion over. In an article written in 2022 for Convergence, Bo Ruberg describes this art installation as problematizing the line between player and game, arguing that the givenness of the human player is challenged as they are relegated to viewer. This, Ruberg argues, challenges the traditional ways in which we think about subjectivity, transforming it into a relational and queer way of being. The deer represents alternative forms of wants and desires, as it guides itself through the city, decidedly vacant of any of the three main characters. At times, it is walking through the city, listening to phone calls or even suffering abuse, and at other times, it's stopped in front of, potentially staring, at a pier along the beach. It challenges the norms we assign to pleasure and desire, and, more generally, the priority we give to understanding the world through human eyes. However, I have some questions. Is it that easy to write off the human? We are there, after all, as observers, and the deer's actions are witnessed, even understood, through us being there. Is play only to be understood if we are directly inputting commands into a game, rather than witnessing their outcomes? Whatever you, and maybe even the deer, think, Watanabe's piece definitely challenges the centrality we give ourselves in the world. I just wonder how much we can actually move away from doing so. Make sure to like and subscribe, and to find out more information about everything that Multiplay has to offer, head to multiplaynetwork.org.